In the last video, I showed you how to make the fold in the mouth. In this video, I'll show you how to make the head and the neck and attach the mouth and the legs as we go. Start by making a knot in the end of your yarn to make a little anchor loop, and then we're going to crochet a magic ring. Wrap the yarn around your fingers to make a small loop. Put your hook through the center and pull through a loop. Hold that while you get ready to crochet with the other hand. Then we'll do a chain to anchor it. Now we're going to do 8 single crochet stitches. So put your hook through the center, yarn under and pull through a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. And again through the center, yarn under and pull through a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. I've already shown you how to do this when we made the body, so just make 8 single crochet stitches. So I've done 2 and I'll speed through the next 6. So here's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now pull the magic ring closed just enough so you can reach the other stitch. You don't need to close it tightly now. If you do, it's too hard to crochet round 2. Remember to use a round marker because you need to count your stitches. The pattern for round 2 is an increase and a single crochet repeated 4 times. You'll have 12 stitches at the end of the round. I'll show you the pattern for each round at the start of the round, then speed through the round so I don't waste your time. At the end of round 2, pull a big loop and we're going to pull that magic ring closed. Take note of which way the yarn's coming around inside your magic ring. Mine's coming around this way, and you need to pull in line with the way the yarn is coming through. So pull it closed and then use your hook to help you pull it closed even tighter. So my magic ring's closed nicely now. When you put your hook back through the loop, make sure the yarn that's moving is at the top side. Move your round marker up for round 3, and in this round we're going to do 2 single crochets and an increase. So I just do a single crochet for the first space, and from the second space I'm going to start trapping the yarn tail. So trap the yarn tail in between your stitches like this, and we'll do a single crochet in that second space, and then the third space is an increase. Keep trapping that yarn tail all the way around. So the pattern for round 3 is 2 single crochets and an increase repeated 4 times, and you'll have 16 stitches at the end of the round. So crochet forward and I'll meet you when you get to your knot. Make sure you keep that yarn tail taut so it doesn't get loose inside your stitches here, otherwise you'll defeat the purpose of having an anchor loop to stop it coming undone. The center will come loose if you leave this yarn tail loose. I'm almost at the knot in this yarn tail, and if I crochet over here it will make a bump. So I'm going to tuck it behind and crochet forward a few stitches. You can see I've gone past the knot in my yarn tail now, and so in the next round I'll crochet into the center of that anchor loop. Move your round marker up for round 4, and in round 4 we're going to do an increase and a single crochet repeated 8 times. I'm also going to crochet through the center of that anchor loop. So here's my increase, and I'm going through the center of that anchor loop again. And the next stitch is a single crochet, and I still have enough space in my little anchor loop there to put 1 more stitch in there. You may need more or less stitches depending on how big you've made your little anchor loop. So the pattern for round 4 is an increase and a single crochet repeated 8 times. You'll have 24 stitches at the end of the round. At the end of round 4 your circle should look like this, and round 5 is an easy one. In round 5 we're just going to do a single crochet in each space all the way around. You'll have 24 stitches at the end of the round. At the end of round 5 your circle should be looking like this, and it's starting to curve a little. The pattern for round 6 is 3 single crochets and an increase repeated 6 times. You'll have 30 stitches at the end of the round. At the end of round 6, your circle should start to be getting a curved shape like this. Make sure you curve it in the right way. So this is going to be the inside and this is going to be the outside. Round 7 is an easy one again. We're just going to do a single crochet in each space all the way around. You'll have 30 stitches at the end of the round. At the end of round 7, your little head should be starting to look like this. The pattern for round 8 is 2 single crochets and an increase repeated 10 times. You'll have 40 stitches at the end of the round. At the end of round 8, your little head should be looking like this. And for the next 2 rounds, rounds 9 and 10, we're just going to do a single crochet in each space all the way around. You'll have 40 stitches per round. At the end of round 10, your little head should be looking like this. It looks a little pointy now, but when you stuff it with stuffing firmly, it will be nice and rounded. The pattern for round 11 is an increase and 7 single crochets repeated 5 times. You'll have 45 stitches at the end of the round. The pattern for rounds 12, 13 and 14 is a single crochet in each space all the way around. You'll have 45 stitches per round. At the end of round 14, your little head should look like this. The increases from round 11 were here and here. And I want to put decreases in this row, but I want to stagger them, so the decrease is going to be here. So start with 5 single crochet stitches, and then we'll do a pattern of a decrease and 7 single crochets repeated 4 times. Then we'll do 1 more decrease and 2 single crochets at the end. You'll have 40 stitches at the end of the round. At the end of the round, your little head should be looking like this, a nice little cup shape. We're going to attach the mouth part into round 16 and 17. The first thing you need to do is to crochet forward 8 single crochet stitches. Then we're going to start crocheting the top part of the mouth into the head. You should have the stitches marked in the top and the bottom, and the larger part of the mouth is the top part of the mouth. After you've crocheted your 8 single crochet stitches, we're going to crochet the mouth into the next 25 stitches. Make sure you're using the top side of the mouth. The top side is the larger side. So take out the stitch marker there, and we're going to crochet through the head part and that stitch that was indicated in the corner of the mouth. Make sure you go behind both the front and back parts of the stitch in the head and the front and back parts of the stitch in the mouth, and just do a regular single crochet stitch. We've crocheted 8 stitches across the back of the head, and now we've just done 1 stitch through the head and the corner of the mouth. From now, just do a single crochet in each space of the head and the next space in the mouth, and we'll crochet all the way across 25 stitches. So just do the next stitch across all the way around until you've done 25 stitches across the top of the mouth. Keep your stitches nice and tight because we're going to stuff this head quite firmly. So I'll speed through this a little bit so I don't waste your time, because it's quite simple. It's just through the head and through the mouth for 25 stitches across the top of the mouth only. So that's what it's looking like so far. Here's my second last stitch here. And when you do the last stitch, of course, take out your stitch marker here and go into that last space. So far for round 16, we've done 8 single crochet stitches across to here. Then we've crocheted 25 stitches around the top of the mouth and the head part. And the last part for this round is to do 7 single crochets into the back of the head. Before you do that, just check and make sure you've got 25 stitches and you haven't missed any of the stitches on the black. Remember, it's a bit hard to see the black clearly. These 4 stitches we didn't use that were used in the sewing part are going to tuck in behind here, and that's actually going to help the mouth to bulge. But for now, we'll just tuck that out of the way and crochet straight into the next space. Make sure you keep this stitch quite firm there. You don't want to have anything gaping. and there are 7 stitches to the end of the round. So this was 1. To recap, round 16 was just 8 single crochets into the head part only, then 25 stitches joining the head part and the top part of the mouth. Then we did 7 single crochet stitches to the end of the round. Move your round marker up for round 17, and in this round we're going to start off with 9 single crochet stitches around the back of the head. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the next space, the 9th space, is the first one we use to join the head and the mouth together. We do one across this far because we don't want the edge of the mouth to gape. Next we're going to crochet straight into the lower part of the mouth in 23 stitches. So remove your stitch marker there and go straight into that space, and this corner of the mouth where the 4 stitches we aren't using go, they will tuck in behind there. So make sure you make this stitch nice and tight so you don't have any gaping. So there's the stitch in the corner. So we've gone from the back of the head straight up into the bottom corner of the mouth. Now we're going to stitch across the bottom of the mouth. There will be 23 stitches altogether. So here's 1, 2, 3. I'll speed through some of these stitches so I don't waste your time. It's just a single crochet in each space around the bottom part of the mouth. 22, this is my second last one. And there's 23 right where it's supposed to be, where the stitch marker is. So crochet into that space. And now we need to go from here over into one of these stitches. And the easiest way to find which stitch it is to count backwards. We need to crochet 8 more stitches. Here's the round marker, and we won't use that space, so count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this should be the stitch, yes, the one that's joining the other corner of the mouth. So reach over and crochet into this space here. Just make sure you're using the right one. There's 2, 4, 6, 8. And do a nice tight stitch into this space here, because you want to avoid having any kind of gaps there. So just do a nice tight stitch there and then continue to the end of the round. At the end of the round you should have 40 stitches. To recap round 17, we did 9 stitches around just the head part, and we did 23 stitches across the bottom part of the mouth. Then we did 8 stitches into the back of the head only. So your little head should look like this at the moment. This is going to bulge nicely when we stuff it later, and this side will bulge too. This looks very awkward right now, but don't worry, it will look perfectly fine when we do the next few rounds. It comes up very quickly now, so we'll need to stuff into the top quite soon. The pattern for round 18 is a single crochet and a decrease, 5 single crochet and a decrease here at the corner of the mouth, then 2 sets of 6 single crochet and a decrease, and 2 sets of 5 single crochet and a decrease. That first decrease is in the corner of the mouth again. You'll have 34 stitches at the end of the round. It might look a bit funky right now, but as soon as you stuff it, you'll see how cool it becomes. In order to stagger the decreases for round 19, we're going to do 3 single crochets first, and then 4 sets of a decrease and 5 single crochets, then a decrease and a single crochet at the end. You'll have 29 stitches at the end of the round. I've already crocheted ahead for round 20. In round 20 we're going to do 5 single crochets, then a decrease, then 16 single crochets and a decrease, and then 4 single crochets. I want the decreases to be roughly in line with the corner of the mouth. You'll have 27 stitches at the end of the round. When you've finished round 20, pull your loop large, and we're going to add stuffing just into the top part of the head. Otherwise this hole is going to be too small to be able to fill with stuffing. So get some stuffing. Make sure you keep your yarn out of the way so you don't accidentally pull it undone, and start filling the head with stuffing. You need to stuff it very firmly. After time, the head will get squashed a little, so if you want to have that beautiful bulging mouth that I'm aiming for in mine, you need to add quite a lot of stuffing. Make sure you fill all around in the top part of the jaw, so you're not going to have any little areas that have a dint where there's no stuffing. So fill that nice and full. That's probably enough for now. So you need to have your head nice and full there like that. It's making a lovely shape with the head now. And we'll keep crocheting down the bottom here, and we'll fill the lower part of the mouth once we get down closer to the entrance to the neck there. You won't have access to up inside the mouth later, that's why it's important to stuff that now. The pattern for round 21 is a single crochet and then a set of a decrease and 4 single crochets repeated 4 times, then 2 single crochets at the end. There'll be 23 stitches in this round. Move your round marker up for round 22, and in this round we're just going to do a single crochet in each space. There'll be 23 stitches in this round. At the end of round 22, your head will look like this, and yes, it doesn't look perfect right now, but just wait until you finish down to the neck and I'm sure you'll be satisfied with the shape. Move your round marker up for round 23, and in this round we're going to do a pattern of a decrease and 2 single crochets repeated 5 times, then a decrease and a single crochet. You'll have 17 stitches at the end of the round. Move your round marker up for round 24, and this is another easy round. We're just going to do a single crochet in each space all the way around. You'll have 17 stitches in this round. There's only one round left in the head, and you can stuff now if you've only got a small space, like in this frog for mine. In my green frog I used a thicker yarn, and so I was able to do the last round before stuffing, but because this yarn is thinner, I'm going to stuff this now. You can be the judge of whether you stuff your frog's lower part of the head now or after the next round. So again, we're going to stuff quite firmly. I'll keep these pieces of yarn out of the way so I don't accidentally stuff the frog with those pieces of yarn. We need to add the stuffing up into the lower jaw, so the frog's little mouth will bulge on both sides. Try and spread the stuffing out with your fingers so it's all spread around nice and evenly, and you don't have any little gaps there where there's no stuffing. As you can see, I'm using a lot of stuffing and I'm stuffing it very firmly. Remember the corners of the mouth we tucked behind our stitches? While we still have access to that part of the mouth, we need to straighten them in line with the center of the mouth to create that cute little bulge. Then press the mouth closed like this to make sure it's all aligned well. And that's roughly the shape of the mouth that I want. So make sure you've stuffed it so it's roughly this full. And you have those nice little bulges in both the top and bottom part of the mouth. I'll add just a tiny bit more stuffing after I've done that last round. The pattern for round 25 is a single crochet and a decrease, repeated 5 times, and then 2 single crochets at the end. You'll have 12 stitches in this round. I've just completed round 25 in the neck, and now I'm going to add a little more stuffing. If your fingers can't fit into the space well, you can use your hook to help you finish adding stuffing into the head. So test again by closing the mouth, and I'm satisfied with how full that frog's head is. Next we'll start making the neck. The neck rounds start directly from round 25 in the head, and I want to have an indicator of where the neck rounds start, so I'm just going to crochet this little loop of yarn into the next stitch so I can cut that off later. It won't slip out because I have a little knot in the end here, and that will show me where I'm up to. We're just going to do a single crochet in each space for the next 2 rounds, and I'm calling them rounds 1 and 2 of the neck. With this little indicator here, everything above that is going to be the neck rounds for me, and this will just help me to see where they start. From now on, you're going to have difficulty accessing the head, so make sure you've added enough stuffing that you're satisfied that it's nice and firm, and your head looks roughly like this. And now we're going to start round 3. Fold the neck in half like this, and in round 3 we're going to increase at the sides of the neck. Make an increase in stitches 5 and 11 at the sides of the neck. There'll be 14 stitches in this round. For round 4, just do a single crochet in each space. From now on, make an increase at the sides of the neck in all the odd numbered rounds and just do a single crochet in each space in all of the even numbered rounds. So for round 5, I'm going to do my increase in stitch number 6. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can see this was where my increase was before, and I'm just going to do the increase in the stitch above. So there's my increase in stitch number 6. Here's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and here's where my increase was before, so I'm going to do the increase in this stitch above, in stitch 13. So here's an increase, and at the end of round 5 we'll have 16 stitches in the round. For round 6, do a single crochet in each space and you'll have 16 stitches at the end of the round. And in round 7 we're going to add the front legs. We're going to attach the legs into round 7, and here's another way you can hide your yarn tails that's very easy. You can only do this if you have a plied yarn where you can open the threads like this. Just tie a knot into your yarn and snip off close to the knot like this. And I'll show you how you can hide that yarn tail so you won't need to sew it in later. This is round 7 and we're going to attach the arms in this round. Our increase from round 5 was here, and we're going to attach the arm into these 3 stitches right here. The center one is going to be an increase. We'll crochet forward 5 stitches, then start attaching the arm in the 6th stitch. I'll speed through the first 5. We'll start attaching the front leg in stitch number 6 so that the center of the leg is above the increase. Here's the little toes pointing up, so I'm going to turn this upside down so that they'll be facing the way I like them to. And I'm going to crochet into the top of that last foundation double crochet stitch we made. So into the top there and into the next space in the neck. Then I'm going to crochet 1 stitch there and pull that yarn tail out of the way here. I'm going to hide the yarn tail in the next round because there's too much going on here to be thinking about that as well. This is the 3 chain that we used to make the start of the foundation double crochet strip. I'm going to go behind that 3 chain into the next space and do a stitch. So I'm going to go into that space again and go into the same space here because it's an increase on the side of the neck. And then into the top of behind both the front and back parts of that stitch and into the next space across. Increasing into the center stitch helps prevent gaps and creates a nice neat finish in the leg. So we've attached the legs with 1 single crochet, 1 increase and 1 single crochet, and we'll do the same on the other side. Crochet forward 5 stitches and we'll attach the other arm. Here's the way I want my leg to be facing up, with the magic rings facing up like that. So I'm going to turn it over. So when I put the legs out, it will be facing up the way that I like. And again, the same as the other side, we'll go through the top of those stitches there. Go into the next space and do a single crochet stitch. Keep that yarn tail out of the way. Then go into the space here that was made by the 3 chain. There it is. Into the next space, and this is an increase. So go behind those 3 chain again and into that same space again to do your increase. Then go into the top of that stitch behind both the front and back parts of that loop and into the next space here. At the end of round 7 you should have 18 stitches. For round 8 we'll just do a single crochet in each space, and I'll show you how to trap those yarn tails. I've crocheted forward to the leg space and now I'm going to trap that yarn tail. This is a very easy way to do it. So you just open up your yarn plies like this and crochet through behind half of them. So you're creating your own little anchor loop here in the center of that yarn tail. So just open up the plies in that yarn tail and crochet through the center. Essentially you're creating a little anchor loop there. And I can fit one more on there. So there's my little anchor loop. That little anchor loop is now trapped inside my crocheting and it won't stick out and I won't have to sew it in. So just do the same for the other side and you'll have 18 stitches at the end of this round because it's just a single crochet in each space. So this is round 9 and we're doing an increase on the sides again. So round 10 is just a single crochet in each space all the way around. You'll have 20 stitches at the end of the round. We're up to round 10 in the neck and this is my little frog looking very cute. You can easily adjust the length of the frog's neck to make it fit nicely under your door. Internal doors are not standard worldwide, but they usually range from 3.5 to 4 centimeters thick. That's 1 3/8 to 1.5 inches. Measure your own door and calculate how long your frog's neck needs to be. Add anything between 6 and 9 centimeters to the thickness of your door to calculate your frog's neck length. That's 2 3/8 to 3.5 inches added to the thickness of your door. I'm using a fine yarn, so I'm going to choose the minimum option and add 6 centimeters to my 3.5 centimeter door. So that'll be 9.5 centimeters long. Otherwise the neck proportions might look weird. Don't go too short or it won't fit under your door. So I'll keep going. The pattern is the same as we've been doing on every odd round. You need to add an increase on both sides, and every even round you need to just do a single crochet in each space. In the pattern I suggest 23 rounds as a starting point for the neck length. To make the 9.5 centimeter neck my frog needs, I made 25 rounds instead of 23. Remember, the neck length will vary based on both the thickness of the yarn and the door. At the end of your last round, whatever round you choose that to be, take out your round marker and do a slip stitch in the next space. Then snip off a long yarn tail because you're going to need this yarn to sew around twice to attach the neck to the body. Pull the yarn through the loop, then do an invisible end. This is where the yarn is coming from for the slip stitch. We'll go forward 2 spaces, pull the yarn through there, then go back into the loop the yarn is coming from and into the back of the loop beneath. Pull the yarn through and pull that to be the same size as the other stitches. And leave the yarn tail as is because we'll use that to sew the neck to the body. You also won't need this marker anymore, so you can cut that out. And I hope your little frog's already making you giggle. We've just got the eyes and attaching to the body to go and it will be finished. So I'll see you in the next video. In the next video, I'll show you how to make the eyes and how to attach the neck to the body. And then your frog will be finished. Yay, we're nearly there.